think I already had this. Did I? I can go look. Guess it wouldn't be in here. I did not. Is it banned list? I didn't look. I did not look. I would be so happy if they banned the affinity deck. Oh, I guess I have to go see here. This is still up. Ooh! They banned it. We're free. No more. Wait, let me look it up online. Oh, that's cool. Whenever this artifact... Does this win games? Doesn't look like it does. Huh, maybe it does. Where's the ban list? Here we are. No Ancestral Mask, Cranial Ram, Galvanic Blast, Rebirth. I mean, they completely annihilated the Affinity deck. They completely annihilated it. Wow. Persistent Petitioners? I didn't know you could even play Persistent Petitioners because I never see it. But I guess that's fair. Okay. I don't know what for the new set would. Was Ninja Turtles around last time? I think it actually was. Wasn't it? I actually think I like Deduce more than Quick Study. don't think I like days. Well, it can't be a creature. I always start with this deck because I have to get it out of the way. Because the games take so long. Oh, this isn't bad. It's not bad, I guess. Preordain? Why was I only running Ponder? In a deck? I don't know. I've always been a larger fan of Preordain than Ponder, personally. That's not a big deal, really. All right. I mean, don't look like anything's new. It's worth playing. All right. Yep. I'm just gonna send it. Or I make something else. Gotta start with a Pauper. I mean, the Fog. Gotta get it out of the way. Outlast 1. Put a 1/1 counter. Put a 1/1 counter at sorcery speed? Okay. It's at sorcery speed. Alright. That's interesting. I can't believe they just annihilated Affinity like that. That's just so crazy. You lose 2 life, sure. Oh, the art in this is neat. Alright, my opponent is playing cards they own, Pauper. Just how the Lord intended. Let's mill 5. Oh, they got stuff in the graveyard. That's not ideal. Ponder. I want to land. Actually, all of these are completely fine. Bump in the night. Good to know about, actually. If there's all 4, then I can't go too low. But 4 of those would kill me. Which is kind of tragic, honestly. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I don't think I can even take hits for the rest of this game. So let's loot this now. Get you. And then pass, which is unfortunate because Bump in the Night can literally solo me until I maybe mill. Nah, milling them doesn't solve the problem because you can cast them twice. Maybe my opponent doesn't know that they go through. Whatchamacallit? Oh, what's this do? When it dies. Okay. Well. Problems. really want to get hit one more time. No, that's just so reckless. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 damage. Double bump just takes me out. Oh, bump is so good here. Deals combat damage to a player. Bump is so good here. It's actually gross how good it is here. Okay, let's pass. They have a blue card as well? Well, you can just pay 2 life. They don't actually have to. It's insane that they've been mana screwed this whole time, but it doesn't matter. Lethal's effectively in play every turn anyways. It really doesn't matter. Okay, this union took me completely out of the danger zone. Ideally for the rest of forever. I could take this and then shuffle. I think I will do just that. And I'll hold on to the treasure token. Yeah, maybe I should have thought cast first, actually. Yeah, probably. Did I play a land? I did. I'm willing to use the treasure. Pop this here. Actually, I have a darkness. I don't need to. Oh, yes, I do. I'm a black mana. Alright. I can also just take a hit here. Like, full stop. I could just take a hit. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I can probably take a hit and not lose a game. Well, I mean, those are cards. Yeah, we can just take a hit, right? Let's play you. And then, I have to discard no matter what if I want to put a stun counter. It's fine. I think we will function just fine if we get rid of a land here, so. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yep. They finally found a land. But we're so secure from bumping the knight at this point. Opponent doesn't even have anything else, and they did play a land. So maybe there's a ton of removal that's completely dead in the water. Yep. Oh. Discard. I could probably take damage again. 4, 5, 6. No. No, probably not. Probably not. I think it's worth it to cast this, so we can just pitch totally dead lands and stuff. We're just looking for very specific cards. My opponent's next 3 draws were lands. That's very funny. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Run out of cards here. Need to find that shuffle. There we go. Maybe it makes him concede. Alright, it didn't. I got a little overzealous there. Got a little overzealous. I only have darkness up. I might have wanted to not play as reckless there, but it doesn't matter. Like, if I didn't leave up 1 mana there, I would have probably just lost. Have they not gone to discard? Like, I don't think my opponent has discarded a spell yet. Well, that's exactly what we want every time ever. I gotta remember this is a clue token. It's not a treasure token. And then I'll do this first. That makes sense to me. Okay. Yep. I would have conceded to the double ponder, never shuffle. Like at this point, it's almost 100%. I always have one for the rest of the game, given how I have just like never shuffled. All right, they finally found red mana. I don't think there's any red cards in the game that matter, though. Other than Bump in the Night. Can I still die? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I can still legitimately lose this game to Bump in the Nights. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. Opponent does not use Evolving Wilds. Fascinating beyond belief. Sacrifice another creature, draw a card, then transform this. Okay. Activate only once each turn? Oh, so you can't spam it in response to itself. I see. Interesting card. Why are we not fishing for the red mana? I don't know. I do have to find another way to gain life. So maybe if I find a mill card, I don't cast it first, because I don't want more Bump in the Nights to exist. In the graveyard. Opponents running darkness? Okay. All right. Yeah. You can probably scam someone with darkness. Maybe. I don't know. Darkness and Changeling Outcast decks is kind of antithetical. But that's the first time I've ever seen Darkness cast. That wasn't me, ever. There it is. All right. That should do enough to not lose to Bump in the Night for the rest of the game. I don't need to min-max these, it doesn't matter. Alright, now we're just looking for the the mill 5s. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay. That's fine. They were interacting with the graveyard. It made me scared. We're almost to the point where, like, the mill 5s are the remaining things in the deck there. Because I'm getting all the lands out of the way. No. Doesn't really matter. I can easily go to discard forever. I could probably win if I discarded 3 cards a turn. I'm just gonna be fast instead of play tight. Have I played both already? One compel. No, I have not. Oh, it's in my hand. I'm an idiot. I didn't even look. Okay, I still haven't seen a red source. Milled? Maybe there's no red sources. And Bump in the Night is not to be cast twice. I'm going to keep the lands in my hand. I don't want to shuffle them in. It's just a bunch of bumps in the night. Yeah, no red lands. Alright. Well, I guess that's that then. I don't really have to worry about anything ever. If, they don't have those. Let's do this now. Oh, I actually had more lands in my deck. Okay. Well, wait. Wasn't I going to go to discard anyways? Yeah, that doesn't do anything. I was literally going to go to discard. Oh, are we done? Oh, we're not done. Sure. Yeah, the Mill 5 cards are just so good at making games end. Alright, there's the last bump in the night. As far as I'm aware, it's the only way they can cast it from hand, so. Well, I mean, the win con of Turbo Fog is always to not die. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. That's all it does. I shouldn't, if you want to play like super min-max, you probably shouldn't play the Mill 5 cards. But I just play them so people who can't concede lose at a reasonable pace. But the Mill 5 cards are probably wrong. I would not advise playing them. I can stop cracking these relics, by the way. I can just keep them in play. It's less stuff in my deck. Alright, they got 3 turns. Or I can find another one and make that faster. Which I suppose I can? There is one in the deck. Oh, found it. Alright, game over. We did it. We did it. How are you supposed to win against this? What do you mean? Just play burn. Just play burn. Or affinity, which is completely and utterly annihilated. So actually one of the worst matchups is completely gone now. Affinity is gone. Completely gone. So I guess burn. I'm sure mono red is still just like a complete disaster to see. The Bant Hexproof deck is okay. It did lose its best card, but it's, in my opinion, perfectly functional without it. Lava Leaper. Huh. Well, the Turbo Fog deck just can do all the quests at the same time. That's pretty cool. Alright, I got that out of my system. I am free. You know what? I can't stop there. I gotta do it one more time. I can't control myself. I have to do that again. There's no greater feeling. Bum bum bum. Yeah, you don't need Ancestral Mask. You absolutely do not need Ancestral Mask. Okay, this is another matchup that's a complete nightmare from my experience. Fortunately, it's not really played. Problems here? Yep, these are problems. I don't see this deck very often, but it's one I don't ever want to see. Of course, it just has it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, wait, never mind. There's more than just 4. There's more than just 4, never mind. I wonder how good this deck is now without affinity all over the place. Well, I got nothing else to do, so I'm not going to leave up Fog to stop card draw. That doesn't seem right. First, I just have it too. If my opponent is not leaving up mana, then I am better than I thought I would be. Scry's 2 on top twice. Wonder if my opponent knows what's going on. Wonder if they care. Probably not. I can cryogenic... No, that doesn't make any sense. I'm just going to keep taking damage. I'm not going to make a move until I absolutely have to. Them drawing is not the problem. They scry 2 on top again. All right. Scry 2 on top again. Mana War, sure. Okay. It's those kinds of cards that make this game actually just a complete nightmare. Let's play you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is very strange. I'm not going to lie to you. I find that to be very strange. I don't think I'm taking damage off the board when I'm at 10. I'm just not going to do that from my opponent's perspective. Oh, they finally put a card to the bottom. Look at that. Look at that. It is possible. The opponent doesn't have the perfect 6 cards. Or no, it'll be 8. Yeah, it'd be 8. Oh, but they found another 2. Alright, so we scryed 9 to the top and 1 to the bottom. Very peculiar. Alright, 12 to the top. No, 13 to the top. 13 to the top. I won't count this one. Oh wait, that's not the same card. Never mind. I don't think there's a Pauper card that deals with that on its own, so... Alright, they tapped out. I don't think that changes anything, actually. Maybe it's just really smart to tap out there. Because I can't cast this. I don't have double darkness. Yeah, no, that was smart. What does this do? Pay 4? I don't think I can. Yeah, I could not have done that, so... Am I going to actually snake out of this? Oh, I can't play anything. Okay, I have to do this on their upkeep. I have to do it now so they don't draw a counterspell. We know there isn't one in hand. Okay. Well, we got to this point. I got through the counterspell wall that I said is really bad to play against. Oh, am I gonna snake out of this? Come on. Come on. Let's do this, actually. Again, have to do this on upkeep. Okay, good. Still no counterspell, so we know what is and isn't safe. I'm gonna just cycle this now. No, that doesn't make sense. I can't do that. Ponder? Sure. I can take them in this order. Same logic. Because of counterspells, I must do it like this here. This gives them a scry 2, which they want to take. How much you want to bet they're no longer going to scry 2 on top, because there's only certain cards that matter? It does make their earlier scries less impactful, because they were only... Oh, they picked up the card draw ones, not the scry 2. Never mind. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, let's play this. Still no counterspell, apparently. Play this. Wait a minute. I need a way to not lose the game here. Uh-oh. Problems. Okay, found it. We can play this now. Do our upkeep nonsense. Yep. Probably cycle compelling argument, because I'm not in a position to do anything about it. Well, opponent, you scried 12 on top. You're at 12 on top. A lot of cards. Let's do this. Let's play you. Let's play this. I can now afford to do this, so I will. All right, we did it. It doesn't feel like a great matchup because all the counter spells, but they didn't. Well, they did. They had a wall of them. I just played the right way around them and didn't lose. The double make disappear spell pierce, like that's what's going to get me in the long run. But I had it covered. The unsummons are dead. These are effectively dead. I don't know. You can bounce a fairy and draw a card. They're not dead. They just replace themselves. This cried so much on top. So much on top. Yeah, maybe it's not as bad as I thought as a matchup. maybe not. I don't know. Spell Pierce is just a problem. Although I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of surprised to see Spell Pierce played in this format. There's not a ton of things that I can think of off the top of my head that I would consider running Spell Pierce for. Turbo Fog is not a matchup I ever expect to play against, especially when the Affinity... Well, I don't know. Affinity's gone. That means you don't need to Spell Pierce well, basically anything in Affinity, like that Cranial Plating card or a Cranial Ram. You don't have to Spell Pierce that anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I like Spell Pierce. But you're mono blue. You're doing the mono blue tempo thing. You don't really have a choice, I guess. I don't know. The Turbo Fog mirror match? Well, I usually win it because people don't play a spell that actually wins, so I can just mill them with the mill 5s, and eventually I'll hit the... what's it called? I'll eventually hit their Clear the Mines, if they're even playing them, and then they just lose. So I usually have a good matchup. It's a long, grindy game, but they don't tend to have a way to win. And then I can just mill them for 5 until a Clear the Mine is hit, and then I win. You do have to hit both, though. But given infinite time, you will. Because you can't, like, if you can't win outside of it, then. Alright, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, alright. Let's look at this. Let's look at this list here. Saw this online. Okay, Wayfarer's Bauble, huh? So people like this, and I have never seen it. I mean, alright. I'm gonna play it, I guess. See what works and stuff. I don't think there's any upfront issues I have. Maybe another Echoing instead of Tithing Blade. No, you want a bunch of stuff for Bant Hexproof. It's probably half the reason people even play this. It's Bant Hexproof. Well, and it triggers off of every spell in your deck, so. The only bad matchup is this deck or the Turbo Fog. I'd be surprised if you played against a Turbo Fog deck. Alright, we'll start here. I'm going to play this. The Pauper event started. I got the Turbo Fog out of my system. I'll probably upload the video with those games in it anyways, but the great thing is Affinity is completely annihilated. So Cranial Ram, I got rid of the list. I had the list up and I closed it out. Yeah, okay. Cranial Ram is gone. Galvanic Blast is gone. Kadoltha Rebirth is gone. Refurbished Familiar is gone. They just annihilated the Affinity deck. I said it was the best deck, and it's not even close. And some could argue it was the only quote-unquote real deck. You know, if you could take it outside of Historic and have play in normal Pauper, it's extremely good. It oppressed the entire ecosystem. I would usually just auto-concede to it, but it's gone. And Sneaky Snacker is also gone. So the Madness deck lost its powerhouse there, its engine. Persistent Petitioner is gone. I suppose it's because no one likes it, but I didn't find it to be particularly that devastating. But yeah, I guess it's gone. And Ancestral Mask is gone, which was the Bant Hexproof, green-white Hexproof one-shot win condition. It's not a big deal. That deck is 100% fine. It just doesn't have a haha 3-minute I win the game one-shot you card, but it doesn't really need it. You just kill your opponent in 2 attacks instead of 1, in my opinion. If they couldn't solve the creature, I don't think Ancestral Mask is what pushed it over the edge there. They're just going to lose to the creature eventually anyways. But Ancestral Mask is gone. Again, I think that deck is 100% viable anyways. But this list I found online. I did not make this one, which I normally make all of the Pauper decks I make, but I was curious what artifact stuff is, what it looks like without affinity, and so apparently this is something that people like. I don't believe I've seen this before, but you just play a bunch of artifacts and you kill your opponent. That's about it. A bunch of removal, some card draw. Wayfarer's Bauble is nuts. That's exciting. I honestly don't think I've even considered this card, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, mono black, this, in a post-affinity world. And Pauper. Oop, I queued with Fog. My bad. The black one? Yeah, it's got a lot of edicts, so... But, I mean, like I said, is probably why they play the 3-mana cards, edicts. I wonder if Turbo Fog is just like the best thing now without affinity. Completely ignoring it. Didn't I just change decks? Didn't I just change decks? Okay. Maybe I didn't. Maybe psychologically I didn't want to. So I didn't. I could have sworn I did. Hello? What? I guess I'm forever stuck playing Turbo Fog? Oh, there we go. Turbo Fog has a lot of stuff. Like, it can kill you before you have enough fogs. You have to start fogging sometimes too soon. There's a little bit of those. From my experience, at least. It also has Metallic Rebuke, which was a problem. Okay, let's play this, I guess. Frantic Inventory? Okay. Is this Turbo Fog? I don't know if I'm playing Frantic Inventory, though. Also, this looks like it has black cards or something. Does it have counter spells? Does it have removal? Okay, it is not Turbo Fog. Still not sure what's going on, though. Just straight up blue-black control. Okay, I get it. Oh, no, there's red in it. There's red in it. Do this. How does my opponent deal with my stuff? What's the win condition of Grixis control? I actually have just no idea. Just cast a Tithing Blade? I don't know. Tithing Blade flips into a significant problem. I would love to see them counter this. Okay, they didn't. Probably should have done that in response to the blade there. Okay, they actually do feel inclined to deal with it. That is a good sign. That is a very good sign, actually. Still haven't seen a win condition. Okay, that is a win condition. Yep, that does it. Certainly does it. Can I please have one of these spells resolve so I don't just lose the game? Of course not. Of course not. Of course, they have two of them. Okay, that just worked somehow. All right. You got it. Well, if they didn't have 3 Tolarian Terrors in the top third of their deck, we could probably eventually have enough to deal with them, but God forbid. Oh, 2 can play that game. Oh, just in time. That's how we drew it up. I feel like this is just an extremely goofy mirror match. How do you win the mirror? You just gamble? I don't know. Feels like that's what it is. We're gambling. I like to see the hand get dumped, at least. Yeah, we're playing the only format that matters. Top 4 cards. I don't think this is in my deck. Then put 2 of them on the top. Sure. Interesting. Let's get the first 3, 4. I mean, now that they've played this, it might not be 100% mirror match, but we'll see. When this enters or is put into the graveyard, draw and lose. Okay, that's just Ichor Wellspring, except worse. Go ahead and do this. Oh, I should have equipped. I'm an idiot. I forgot I had the tech. Alright, well, we have a huge advantage life point wise. They have to deal with this, and they have to deal with it like right now. Okay, that sort of actually does that. Sort of. Yeah, we'll turn the treasure token into a swamp. I like swamps. In the same name as that creature. Do we think they're going to block? Probably not. Does this kill them? They take 2, and then I surveil 2. I should play this. Yeah, this actually is a problem here for my opponent. Because it kills theirs and not mine. And they go to 1. Alright. They scooped, but I did not have lethal. I did not have lethal. I would have to find a way to kill him next turn, but sweet. All right, well that's how you win the mirror match. They're playing this. I assume that means you have Ike or Wellspring as well. This isn't free. That's very interesting, though. Huh. Okay. And this, too. A lot of life loss here. Because my deck doesn't really do that. I guess you win the mirror by just having a slightly more thought-out game plan. Cards-wise, I don't know. I don't know. Like, you have more card draw, but you have less things to find because you have more card draw in your deck. That makes sense. You're just looking for the same few things instead of... I don't know. It's funny that I just played this card for the first time, and I have also on that day seen the card for the first time from an opponent. So this deck must be new? Okay, we got this matchup again. I think I always kill the 1-drop. I don't know if I hold on to this to kill the ninja card. Probably not. But I don't know. Okay, well, I suppose it was right in the long run of things. Still not winning this. Okay, that was a very good draw, though. Can we not have another one? Oh, of course. Ugh. The 2-mana one, then, I guess? Oh, of course not. Scry 2 on top, as is tradition. As is tradition. Well, at least I can play around Spell Pierce. Lucky us. And I don't think I play into Spell Pierce, so I won't. But I could have just played into Spell Pierce. Could have. Alright. Pass the turn? Just how we drew it up. Still fishing for Spell Pierce. Tragic. What is Flash that I'm not excited to see here? Of course. Yep. Yep, can't help but have all the ninjas. Of course. Can't do nothing about that. I'll scry to... Or, is it scry or surveil? It's surveil. Both of those have text on them. There could be a counterspell for this card here. Well, that doesn't really change anything. I'm still casting it. I deem it a problem for my opponent to deal with, and opponent sees it as a problem to deal with. So. Oh my god, stop having them, please! Opponent, stop having them. Oh my goodness, please. They've had one every possible moment. They've had one. They've never not had one. Okay, well. Alright, yeah, they just... Everything I've done has been 100% decisively taken. They also have days, apparently, yep. Alright, you got it. My opponent has had 100% perfect draw. I can't do anything about this. Literally 100% perfect. Let me go. They scry 2 on top. Might as well at this point. No, they didn't. They did not scry 2 on top. That is uncharacteristic. 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 Well, that was fun. I could have Echoing Decayed a turn slower, but then they just get a trigger anyways. Yeah, I don't know. What I need is them to not have a ninja card at every possible opportunity. That's what I need to not have happen to have like a chance, because every time they go to combat they draw more cards than me and I lose. So I need a turn where they don't do that. That was the first time I saw Daze as well. Interesting. I'm not sure I'm liking these Wayfarer's baubles. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not sure if I like them. I guess they give you something to do when your opponent doesn't do anything. Alright, Echoing Decay does effectively deal with this. I probably should just make them discard 2 cards here. But Echoing Decay, as far as I'm aware, actually kind of takes care of this deck, and I do have them in my deck, so... Refurbished Familiar is gone. It would be in every deck I play if it wasn't gone. Do I have another card that deals with this? I don't know. Oh, this is such a boring deck. Do this. Well, that doesn't help me. Actually, wait, I should turn that into a treasure. It also doesn't help me. Alright, well, no Echoing Decay. Still have draws to it. Can we not have a rabbit? Of course. Pops it off with the perfect curve of rabbits, too. Like, actually perfect. Perfect 4 right into the exactly what you need idea here. Nope, 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 nope. Alright, well, that was fun. I saw almost half my deck. Well, a third of it. Closer to a third. It's like Echoing Decay or bust, I guess. No, I can cast Grim... If I had Grim Bauble, I have ways to beat that. I do have ways to beat that. It's not just looking for 2 cards on my entire 60. I can beat that, I just didn't eat it. I also had played against the perfect curve, like they went right in, like their last card was the exact thing they needed with the last rabbit. 4 lands. Carrot Cake. That makes 1/1 when it shows up and leaves. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Also interesting. Let's play Grim Bauble, I guess. Kill this thing. Tokens are annoying with all the type of removal I've got in my deck, I suppose. Splash blue for Metallic Rebuke. And yeah, maybe. I mean, what do we take out? Taking out a card draw spell for a card draw spell is weird. It does give me more artifact lands, which probably good here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit surprised that this deck doesn't have another color in it. That was one of the cards I was hoping to draw. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. This is not. I thought this was the 3/4. Never mind. It's still a card, I guess. And I just pass. Leave up Echoing Spaghetti. I'm pretty sure I always just block with this. And I think I can take 2 in case they play something for Echoing Decay. Like another Tote. Other creatures you control get stats. Alright, not ideal. It's more likely that they make more rabbits for the second Echoing Decay. It's such a small thing. But alright, that was the card I was actually talking about. So I will play it. It's just a 3/4. That's just a problem. So I mean, to be fair, my opponent also just has a rabbit sitting in play. So when this enters, make a 3/3. Okay. Interesting. They found a way to swing. But one of these is good, and these are now really good. So, oh, that was also good. I guess I'll do this. They have a second rabbit. You have a second rabbit. Which, I mean, yeah, the removal spell's no different because they have a rabbit. I mean, it's still casting it. It kills the rabbit. Oh, I have a treasure token. I get these mixed up with maps and clues and stuff. There's so many of these random tokens in the game. Yeah, alright, so we're just chilling then. That's probably just enough to turn the corner. But there's certainly draws to be had. Okay, they took out the one that was dying. They kept the older one. That doesn't seem right to me. Yeah, it's not like you're racing to the last chapter. They just kept the wrong one. I don't think it matters. I really do not think it matters, but that was... no. Notable missequence, I suppose. Okay, what is an instant here? What is an instant? Cannot begin to imagine what it is. Well, that's tragic. Suppose I'll do this. The fact that these are 3 mana is just so rough. Charge of Mites, sure. I was about to say, I'm not interested in playing around anything. I'm just going to block. I'm just going to put 2 of these in front of 2 things and just do that. But yeah, all right, we just turned the corner. If this was Heir Apparent, I think I would have just lost. I think. We have 2 Grim Baubles and... oh, actually, I did draw an Echoing Decay. Maybe I would have beaten straight up Heir Apparent. How many rabbits would we have seen, quote unquote? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? If these are all rabbits. No, you know what? I don't think I'm beating that. If there's 8 Heir Apparents at this point in the game, I'm not sure if I'm going to beat that. I did have a lot of removal, though, but still. Maybe not enough. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm positioned super well in the, you know, the quote unquote 5 to 6, 7 ish repeating decks. I don't know if I like this. These feel really bad. This is just so slow. You're not even really ramping to anything other than like getting this slightly faster, but you don't have to do that. Because once you cast one, you don't just instantly win. You have to play the game still. I feel like you're not racing to anything with this. And it costs a lot of mana to like do it. There's a lot of decks that you don't have time to do this, it feels. Yeah, I don't think I like this. I do like Echoing Decay. I do like Echoing Decay. I don't really like Metallic Rebuke. But I do like Thought Scour. Thought. What is it? Thoughtcast. Cryogenic Relic. It's, I mean, it's kind of the exact same as Wellspring, though. I don't have my affinity deck. I can't look at the cards that are still unbanned. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think like this is just too good to not try. So what are the other blue ideas? Vault Scourge? Another blue idea? Excuse me, not blue. Spring? No. Oh, what's that? What's that ghoul? That like when it dies, you get another one? Wait, what? Oh, my opponent had a different one. Virus Beetle's funny. What's the idea behind Hopeless Nightmare? Make them discard? That's it. This is not an artifact. I feel like this effect is not that crazy. It triggers all of your like wizards to do 1 damage, but I don't really care about that. I don't know if I like this. Again, it is not an artifact. I do like the Grim Bauble though. Yeah, I'm not feeling the Hopeless Nightmares. I'm not gonna lie to you. I almost want another Echoing Decay and then like some other kind of removal spell, maybe. Unless I can find another viable blue card that isn't simply Ponder. But yeah, I don't know. Brainstorm? No, there's no shuffling in here. Is Sleight of Hand new? No, it's not. Never mind. It is back in standard though. I like Days, not gonna lie. I really do want to play a Days deck. That sounds just so depressing in this format. Days and maybe even Force Spike. Sounds just excellent to me. Like you're just not gonna have these early threats resolve ever. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling the blue without or other than just Thoughtcast. All right, what about blue-black cards? Oh, this is gone. I'm very happy that somebody at Wizards is paying attention to this, and it isn't just like a weekly thing they ignore. Like, this is a good sign, right? This has to be a good sign. Somebody thought that even though this is only around for 3 days, this is a good idea. They usually don't do that, I feel. Maybe we'll get this as a permanent format, and then I'm free. I don't like my blue-black card options either. I could just play another 2 like cryogenic relics in this deck. Though I only have 8 blue sources, and I would almost always want to draw at least one. I probably could run 2 islands and not be upset about that. Maybe 1 island. Probably. Gotta be a little careful about that. But that's fine, right? That doesn't destroy anything. There is a double black card in here, but if I can't cast this, that implies that I have so much blue mana, then maybe something just went terribly wrong. I don't know. Yeah, maybe just 2 relics. Maybe just 2 relics. It's another thing to sack to all those things that it wants to get sacked to. I didn't change the win condition, but I just like this way more than Bobble. What else did I take out? It was Bobble and something. Yeah, who cares? We got Thoughtcast. What more do we need? Maybe there's a reason why this deck doesn't run the blue stuff, but I'm not seeing it. I'm really just not seeing why I shouldn't play Thoughtcast. I keep seeing this sleeve. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Suppose I'll copy you 1-to-1. Maybe we were onto something. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see, really? I don't know what that means. Okay, how does this deck win? Virus Beetle? I mean, sure, I'll just get rid of Grim Bobble. I don't care about that. I could just play this and then ask my opponent what they're going to do about it, but I think I know what they're going to do about it, and I don't like that thing. So I'm just going to play 2 of these. Edicts are a huge problem here, and I don't want to run into one with a card that is extremely important to me. So alright, looks like I'm going to have it happen no matter what. What the heck is that? Return a perm. All right, yeah, sure. So that's what the white is. It's the core Sky Fisher return nonsense. If that's the case, then I really just I'm never playing. Why does it want to float? Oh, that's why. Why does it want to do that? I can probably leave the 2/2 and play. It doesn't really matter anymore. Like if they pick up the 2/2, then well, it just picks up a 2/2 with like another 2/2. Oh, look, perfect edict. All right. Silly me thinking I can play around cards. Silly me. Should have known better. Well, problems. Bajuka Bog? What graveyard strategy is there in the game? Turbo Fog? Bajuka Bog, okay. I have not seen a graveyard strategy yet, other than, I guess, Turbo Fog. But hardly consider. The fourth relic. I'll get rid of that, keep that. Not sure if I'm winning when they have infinite answers to everything I could ever conceivably do. And then it's a matter of decking out, and I'll deck out first. Like, what am I supposed to do, right? They just keep doing things until I'm out of gas. There's no way running a Cling to Mind is correct. I refuse to believe that. Did I say Cling to Mind? I think I did. I meant Clear the Mind. I guess I just cracked that. Yeah, my opponent has more threats than me in their deck. And I can never really get anything. Can I draw, like, anything, please? Yeah, I don't really get this deck. I'm not gonna lie, I just don't understand. It feels like this 3/4 is just not good enough. Ever. I don't really get it. Oh, they even have Blood Fountain. I mean, this is 120% over. There's no doing anything about anything my opponent has done. At no point have I been in this game. It's 100% over. I can't do anything. Yeah. Like, it's the same matchup, except my opponent has more to do. That's it. Just like full stop. They have more cards than me. They can just do more things. I would just say with confidence my opponent is just a superior version of my deck. Which means, yeah, I do not like this. I don't like this at all. If you play the white cards, you don't even have to play this, and this feels awful as well to me. I don't know about Blood Fountain, but it's probably just a one of. Like, we did the exact same thing, except my opponent just had a better deck. They just had better cards. I'm convinced that that is true. So we're going to make some radical departures here. My opponent was playing all of them. I don't know if I want all 8. Like, it seems like a lot. You're never upset with them, though, I guess. I guess not. The meta base is way worse. But that's okay, right? We're not here to concern ourselves with mana bases. Do I even play Ancient Den? I don't know. Maybe. Oh, no more room for basics. Not really. It actually recommends no basics at all. Is this just the mana base? Is that just like full artifact lands and nothing else? I mean, there's really no punish to it, right? It's not like anything. This mana base is hilarious. This already feels better. Like, these just feel like better win conditions. Like, through and through. It even makes Echoing Decay look less impressive. I don't know if I want Virus Beetle. That seems a little crazy. But I think I do like it more than Black Mage's Rod. This ping deal 1 damage thing just does not seem that great at all. Also, I didn't notice there's only 2 Deadly Disputes. I like that a little bit more than Offering. Virus Beetle is an artifact. Tote is funny. Probably not where we want to be, though. I don't think I like Volt Scourge. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Virus Beetle, that's what I was saying. I didn't know it got printed in that set. Yeah, let's try that. That seems better. All right, so we went from mono black, which I didn't like, to blue black, which felt better. It actually did kind of just feel better in that one game I played. And now Esper. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Things are happening. They do be happening. Don't you dare. Don't you dare play Lenoreals. Okay. What does that mean? I don't know. Well, when in doubt, virus beetle. Look at the top 3 artifact or creature. Is this hexproof? Nope. Tokens? When it dies, make a 1/1. Okay. I assume that means my opponent would trade. Does that matter to me? Not really. Do I want to pick this up? I feel like Virus Beetle is better than Tithing Blade against a deck like this. So I'm just going to do that. We're just going to do that. Virus Beetle feels significantly better. Did I also play? Oh, it's because I play. Yeah, I see. Mana doesn't let me play 2 things next turn, but I don't think we're in dire straits. Sure, I will just block these. I'm not at all interested in playing around anything. Ever. I don't really think combat tricks are really a thing, honestly. So I suppose I do have Echoing Decays, so I could just wait a turn. And just not block. And have kind of the... They just don't swing. Alright, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm skipping the attack step like that. I don't know. I'm not sure if I like that. I feel like you have to get in there when you're playing a deck like this, but maybe not. Like, I was debating not blocking that. Could be overthinking it. What? Whenever this... Okay. Pretty sure there's a 1-mana version of this card. The Lorien... Whatever the white Lorien Revealed is. I don't know the name of it. The bird one. It was like... I'm pretty sure that's a common, so... There's just a 1-mana version of that. Like, in terms of cycling. What does this do? Whenever this creature attacks, you gain 1 life. Okay. You got it. Did I play a deck with this in it before? Okay, they do attack now. What does that mean? What's different? I don't know. Something's different. Something must be different, right? Relic into... Well, I could... Yeah, I'm gonna relic. I should have did this pre-combat. It doesn't really matter. Probably not finding anything that changes anything. I can afford to miss a land drop, so I'll cast this. That one. All right, well, my opponent has spent over half of their active playtime holding priority doing nothing. So I assume there's some kind of combat trick now. That was not there before. And apparently it's 1 mana, not 2 mana. So there's a 1 mana combat trick. I will trade the 1/1s. I think it's good to cast. Okay. Maybe there isn't one. Oh, no, they're back to 2. All right. I don't know what on earth it could conceivably be. I just have no idea. But I'm gonna fish it out extremely efficiently with my removal in my hand. So we're gonna find out. Whenever this vehicle attacks, draw, then discard. Huh. I like that. Never seen it before. I don't know what you could set up, but there's madness decks. That's kind of nice, right? Set this up and a lot of your madness creatures have haste and whatnot. I would be blown away if they had the ability to give this haste in a green-white deck, so I don't know why they just did that. Okay, my opponent just did that. You got it. I mean, it doesn't matter that much, but they did miss out on a 2-1 attack. They don't make a move? Well, I mean, okay. That doesn't change anything. Kind of hoping they would make a move. +3/+3 and trample. Is this right? I don't have any cards in hand, so I guess it is. What's the crew on this? 2. Opponent, please. Can I swing? I really don't see a reason to. I'll just make it like almost 100% that I can't really die to anything. By not swinging, I don't think 2 damage matters. I'm already inconceivably far ahead. My opponent's just top decking. What the heck is that? Make a bird and then make another bird. Okay. They did not crew. I guess crewing doesn't matter because you have to lose a... Wait. Draw. Yeah, you just lose the card anyways. They could have They could have equipped here. Oh, that doesn't really change anything. It doesn't change anything. I wonder if discarding a flashback card was better. Like, if you're gonna loot, you obviously loot in the opposite direction. Yeah, they kind of made a mistake here, in my opinion. They probably didn't want to do that. I'm very thankful to get rid of that card. We're no longer held hostage by 7,000 years of priority there. It's always nice. Love to see it. It does not get trample. Okay, this game is probably 100% over. I've not seen that emote before. Okay. Well, this is probably one of the better top decks I could have had there. What else does it do? Creatures you control gain trample. Okay. Do this. And crack the bauble. I could have, like, killed this in combat with Grim Bauble or something. There's no way this person doesn't block. But this was a phenomenal top deck. Probably one of the better cards they could have had. Very good. Because I don't know. Well, yeah, it is actually pretty good here. Okay. I'm just taking 5. Just taking 5. Yeah, that was a good top deck. What's that card they didn't play? Land. Let's play that. And I think I'm just not swinging and putting everything ever in front of this 5/5. I don't lose. Spoke too soon, I guess. There's very little reason to not put everything in front of it, so boop. Especially if my opponent messes up and they put like too much into a court Skyfisher and can't do anything after that, so. This plays around +3/+3. Okay, they got rid of the beetle instead of a 2/2. They don't want to deal with beetle, apparently. Be picking it up. Well, it ain't gonna matter much. They got nothing going on. Doesn't really change the clock. No instant in their hand. They should be playing lands if they have them, because they know about Beetle, but it also doesn't really matter. They are not playing the lands, they're just holding them. Yep, we can swing. I think they have to trade. Because if you don't trade, you can't swing next turn. And then you're just blocking next turn anyways. Okay, well. I don't think there's a single top deck, and like it would need to be a wide token reach thing to stay alive. Alright, we did it. Slash of Light. Deals damage. There was a turn where they looted this away. This probably would have been good. Probably. If I had to guess. Alright, we're free. From an extremely slow player, but I don't know, maybe a newer player. Cool deck. I like the I like the cards they had in here. It was cohesive. It wasn't just like random cards you own. Green-white token stuff. Yeah, if they had this instead of another 2/2, because they could have discarded this to the looting and kept that, and probably would have hit one of my core Skyfishers, and I'd have, well, just that, not a part of the game the whole time. And we probably still wiggle out of it, because we have all this remaining by the end of the game. I don't think that O-ring is changing much. And also this, they might have to just deal with this. With the O-ring instead? I don't know. What was that other deck? How did it play? It's the combo deck, right? Wait, there is a combo deck, right? I'm not tripping. It's like you put the 1/1 counters on your thing over and over and you try to mill race for it. I can't remember what it is. I have to look at my own list. I can't remember if I even uploaded a list of it. I'm not sure. Blue-green? Oh, no. Oh, no. Surgical Bay. Is this Turbo Fog? Oh, it's poison counters. I guess. Right? Can you win without the black poison cards? On it says you can. I guess. So says the opponent. So let's play you. Yep. We have problems here. That was not a great draw. I don't think playing this does a single thing, so I'm not even going to bother. Oh, I'm going to try to attack you. That is not quite what I was hoping for. I need something. I need something more here. That's not it either. Uh-oh. How do you win without this card, though? Like, full stop. How do you win without Prologue to Crisis? I don't quite understand. Like if they didn't cast that, they can't put the first poison counter on me. And then what do you do? Like how do you win? I don't get it. It doesn't seem like you can only win with one card in your deck. And like you don't do anything until you hit it. Seems really questionable to me. Okay, we want more stats in play. So I guess I'm just gonna do that. Because really nothing else matters, I don't think. Yeah, I can play this first. Very easy to discard cards that don't matter. Put our opponent on a 2-turn clock here and ask them to kill me really fast. Which I would be surprised if they could, but I don't know. I mean, they had, again, the only thing in their entire deck that does anything early. So anything's possible. Yep. That doesn't do it. I don't know what does, but we're about to find out. Oh, they have fogs in their deck. Alright, you got it. Okay, so there actually is a win condition. I was about to say, there is absolutely no conceivable way you can win a game without, like, specifically that, so that... Opponent found it. There's probably no winning this ever at this point. Probably just concede. Although they probably just have me dead next turn anyways, so... Doesn't really matter. But without the psoriasis early, this just doesn't... You can't rely on it. I'm probably, with the fogs, not going to win without the poison. Like, if they just never put a poison counter on me, I'm still probably going to lose that game. If I had to guess. Not playing black cards is nuts, though. I must admit. Like, no other poison counter removal spell or... what else? The other things black does that I can't think of off the top of my head. I have not seen dedicated life gain stuff before. This is not a good idea if their next turn is specifically the unicorn. So maybe I should have played around it. I don't know. I don't want to play around the perfect draw all the time. So I'm not going to do that. Actually, it really isn't, because this has lifelink. So never mind. Never mind. It doesn't actually matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, well, maybe they don't have it? They didn't play it. Okay, they don't have it. We continue on. Look at us go. I can play this, pick up a land, and then do nothing. That's nice. I'm just going to kill that while I have the chance. Missed my land drop, though. That is not important to me. Actually, kind of surprised to see that. Let's play nothing. We could just sit with our resources basically the entire game, especially if they O-ringed like a nothingness thing. I would like to sack the other one in response to them doing that again. Okay, they didn't. I will still do this. How do they just have absolutely nothing? That seems wild to me. That seems absolutely wild. Like, beyond nothing here is crazy. Like, not even another O-ring, apparently? Tactical advantage. Okay, well, their hand could be full of combat tricks. That would be very funny. I do not have a Tithing Blade now if something exceptionally egregious happens to me. When this enters, put a counter on other creatures you control. Sure. I will trade with my 2/2. Or I'll just swing and maybe nothing happens. Fine with me. They have pacifism. That's funny. Let's continue to upset the hand, shall we? I like Virus Beetle more than I thought I would, but it's just so, like, not great if your opponent has no cards in their hand, or they don't care and they can just discard things. But there's no graveyard strategy that I have seen. They have, what is the, I gotta see this card again. Target a block. Okay, it doesn't matter. We can grab Bobble now. But I think this is still fine. There's nothing to bobble. Probably going to sack the map to this. Okay, well, I can do that. Ooh, pacifism's just such a blowout, though, because I can just take it off. Yeah. They don't have the definitive remove the cards from the game things. I can pitch their entire hand, but it seems like they don't have anything worth attacking in the hand. So I don't see a reason to. And also, picking up core just removes... Oh, I can just do everything. Alright. I can do whatever I want. Actually, you know what? I'm going to grab one of these. I'm going to grab one of these. Because they have pacifisms, and this leaves open the window to do whatever I want later. Okay, let's swing. I'm sure there was... Yep, they didn't even hesitate. They just absolutely respected it that time. Yeah, we can grab that last card out of their hand. Why not? What do we got? What is it? Another, nope, Knight's Pledge. Alright. That explains why they didn't block. Opponent is done with the Virus Beetle. Second time that's happened. Someone killed the 1/1 instead of the 2/2 because they don't want the Virus Beetle to continue to exist. Oof, lands. No big deal. It would take a tremendous amount of things to come out of this, I think. So. Yep. Probably just concede to the blade. Oh, they didn't concede. I would have. I don't think there's a single top deck in your deck that gets out of this, so I think it's over. Land certainly isn't it. Okay. Mono white life gain. There was like a 5-turn window. They did nothing. I guess we have perfect information now. Like pacifisms are just so bad against the balanced creatures. Auras, when you don't have hexproof, do sign you up for getting 2-for-1. You know, you put 2 cards in play and then someone casts Doomblade and you lose everything. Virus Beetle did put in some work, but a lot of, actually, targeting blocking or blocked creature. So, Tactical Advantage wouldn't have saved the 2-3, because I don't think they would cast it when it wins combat. It just kills my 2-2, and then they just move to the next phase without casting this, and then I can just kill it with Grimbauble anyways. But if they did cast it simply to just gain 2 life, it would have stopped me from killing their 2-3s, but I think we could probably just deal with that anyways. I don't think there's a single way to stop an O-ring. That's just in play forever. But we have way too many 2-for-1s happening, and I'm drawing more than 1 card a turn on average. So I'm ahead on way too many fronts here. All right. They didn't have the unicorn. No unicorn. Or the 3-minute Johnny's Pride Mate, whatever it's called. Something unicorn. Prize unicorn, spaghetti unicorn. I'm going to look at my Pauper list for a second. Haven't seen Slippery Bogle yet. Yeah, well. Is Bogle specifically new? That's not, like, actually new, is it? Bogle's been around? It was not around last time I played, looking at my list. So I guess... Uh-oh. Is this the Crow Crime deck? Black Red Burn? Madness? Yeah. Oh, they don't have the 2-1 anymore. No more 2-1. Just straight up chain lightning. Okay. Play this. Wonder if casting Tithing Blade would be good. Okay, well, they did exactly what I didn't want them to do. Go figure. That is like the one thing I really didn't want to have happen, but there's not much I can do about it. Yay, I killed their tooth too, yay. Well, I am almost 100% dead. And even if I'm not, I have, like, no way to kill them before they would draw something that kills me anyways. So. Uh, do you have any life gain? Nope. Yep. Burst lightning? Ugh. I don't know if I like that one, but the rest of it's just whatever. I guess you got to replace the 2-1 somehow, right? Little burn spells, though. Maybe a little too many. I don't know. Killed me there. Still. Yeah, I know about Glade Cover. That's not new, though. Yeah, okay, it was a Molten Gatekeeper combo. That's what it was. And then there was another combo, wasn't there? Yeah, Scrappling Witness. You play Mere Scrappling, you discount it, and then you continuously spam Witness to get counters. That was it. Okay. Where is the most recent hexproof deck? This one? I wonder if the Pilgrims are wrong. Error exporting deck? What do you mean? All right, well, Bogles is new. Assuming I can find it. It's a spooky looking card. This is new. I guess I like Alion's Pilgrim way less now. We have an actual card. Are there any new auras that are good? It's funny they didn't ban Ethereal Armor. Feels like almost the same thing. It almost feels like the same exact thing. Okay. Like, what's the other? Let me look at let me look at that list I was looking at a second ago. Click. Let's see. The other idea. Oh, it didn't have one. Oh, never mind. There was no list. I lied. Like anything ever, maybe is fine. You may cast this from your graveyard rather than paying 3. Does that matter? I don't know if it does. Nyxborn Hydra? Could be interesting. Oh, it's double green for bestow. That's probably maybe too much mana. It is a way to get trample, I guess, right? Maybe you don't even play Pioneer anymore because you have Bogle. Maybe not. Maybe not. I do like Vigilance. Yeah, maybe Nyxborn Hydra doesn't sound like a worthwhile venture to me. Citizen Trample training. Yeah, it's another trample. I have absolutely no idea what Wonderweave Aerialist is. Oh, that's not how you spell that. Ward 2, nope. Gone to great length why you should not play ward cards, but yeah, we could try that. Why not? We'll try training. All right, well, I mean, it's as simple as it gets, right? I got Force of Will today. Just pulled a Force of Will. That's nice. Oh no, the mastery. When you spend a mastery orb, it re-highlights the store again. We're back to that. Yeah, we'll play some Bogles for a bit. I like this deck. All right. Ban Hexproof, still Historic Pauper. This was not around last time. As far as I'm aware, this was not around last time, at least in the lists I played. So this is huge. It means you can just play less of the goofy things that I feel like you had to play. That being said, I still have Cryptomancer in here. I still kind of like it. But you don't really need it, right? People swear by like the 12 creatures and then just call it a day. And I believe there really only is these two right now. But I mean, again, I always play this one. there's the 3 mana make a 1/1 Merfolk hexproof thing, and then there's apparently Worldweave Aerialist, and there's another ward creature you see sometimes. I really don't think you should play ward creatures because you can't kill your opponent exceedingly fast without Ancestral Mask anymore. And even if you did have it, there's still a lot of things that just get around ward, and then you lose your creature. There's not like a boatload of stuff, but there's, in my opinion, not a lot of incentive or reason to set yourself up for someone just paying for ward, and then your creature gets like hit by Pacify or O-Ring at 5 mana and you just lose. You can still win way before they have that mana, but still, I'd rather just only be answered by like the Black Edict spells and have my opponents have way less outs. So that's why I don't play the ward creatures, but there's a few that I do see, and every time I do see them, I'm like, oh great, I can actually kill this. And sometimes I do, and then I just win because I did. So yep, Bogle is a massive, massive boon to this strategy, and I haven't seen anyone play it against me yet, so that's what I'm going to do to other people instead. Yes, sir. We're throwing Bogle. Throwing Bogles. Playing some Boggle. I actually have a Boggle set right here. Okay, we don't have a creature. Can't keep it. I have too many creatures, so bloop. I did, in fact, play a black source. Tragic. I think I want a white here. I already have a creature. Yeah, I need my stuff to be castable. Whenever this enters, gain 3. Alright, that's not what I expected. Drew a white source. Actually tragic. Alright, they don't have an answer. I win the game. They don't have an answer. This is actually kind of funny. If specifically my opponent had Grim Bauble here, and this was the Ward 2 creature, they could have just killed it. So, well, I mean, it would be Aerialist would cost a different mana color that I would have in play, but still. Still. Bauble is all over the place. You can outgrow Bauble very fast. There's like a 1-turn window to maybe kill your creature. With Bauble, a ward creature. It's not like there's Dismember or anything like that. I don't have green mana, but I still have a castable creature. Which is funny, because I only have 1 island in here. It might have actually been right to just play this turn 1. Yeah, I might regret that. Oh, maybe not. Let's get rid of that. Makes sense to me. Play that. And pass. Alright. Just trying to dodge edicts. I can't even begin to guess what that is. I have absolutely no idea. Bum 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 bum. Oh look, the perfect answer. Probably the only card in my opponent's entire deck that does anything. First I don't draw a land. Still not out of this. Flying Toxic 1. Alright. There's not a lot of lands in this deck, so maybe discarding the land was just wrong. Let's play this. Doesn't help me swing. No, I really should just, like, play the ones that replace themselves. And I guess I can get a white source with this. That makes sense to me, I think. I mean, we're close to just going crazy. I think that land was the draw for the turn. Whenever this creature attacks, you gain 1 life, sure. My opponent, like, forgets they can attack every turn. I don't know what's happening on. It's one thing to do it once, but to forget you have an attack step multiple times is very strange. Alright, they remembered. For 20 years. I would like to put another creature in play. And this also stops them from attacking outright. So we can just chill. I would argue I have inevitability with a deck like this. So I don't really have to swing every turn. I should protect myself. Again, the whole inevitability thing. I'm just going to keep this up. If they have double Tithing Blade, which really feels like the only thing that matters, so I should just play around it. Though I think I would have seen it already, so... They flip this up. Turn face up, something gets lifelink. Alright, that's cool. This makes a 1-1 when it attacks. Seems like a perilous endeavor to swing with that, but gotta do what you gotta do. Actually, it doesn't really do anything if you swing with it. You just turn it into a 1-1 and I gain 7. So there has to be some kind of combat trick here. I'm willing to play nothing around that at all and just get in there. Is Indestructible Death Touch a thing? I think it actually is, to be honest. But all they did was turn their 3-4 into a 1-1. They didn't even gain life. It doesn't really matter where I put this one, so I guess I'll just put it here. That was pretty good. Do I want trample? It's not outright lethal, is it? Oh, it is. I'm pretty sure this is just lethal. Alright, yeah. Pretty sure it is. Right? No, it's not. Don't I have... I thought that would be lethal. Didn't the ethereal armor, didn't it give it +2? Oh, I mean it did. Okay, well either way, I found lethal. My math was slightly wrong, but we got there. Yeah, we just have inevitability, right? Unless my opponent kills me, I'll turn the game around eventually. So there's no, like, rush to attack their life total very quickly. And they only had one relevant card this entire game. The rest of it just gets completely stonewalled by a giant threat. Especially once that threat flies, or has lifelink, or has first strike, really. Any one of those is just really problematic. And more than one is very, very problematic, so. Cool. I was playing Fog, and then the remnants of Affinity. And now we're playing Hexproof here. Get rid of... It seems kind of ridiculous to keep 3... No, I'll just do that. That's fine. I want at least to have a blue source be a part of this game in some way, shape, or form. I can respect Tithing Blade for a turn before I would get posed by it. Let's do that. This really wants to find Island, I think. But I can play around Tithing Blade. I.e. the only card that matters here, I feel. And they didn't play anything, so there probably is a Tithing Blade. Oh no, it could be just a removal spell. Alright. I don't think there's a 2-mana Edict at instant speed in this format, right? Chainers is a sorcery. Is Geth's Verdict playable? Well, they have something, so I'm about to find out. Okay, that's not it. That is not it. Alright. Beautiful. No Tithing Blade for you. Okay, they have Tithing Blade anyways. Of course, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course. Why not? Why not? Okay, well, that does something. Albeit really slowly. Can't wait for the second Tithing Blade. Again, the only card that does anything. Does this make a 1/1? Nope. Another threat is Colossal here. That is huge. I will play it. There is nothing I'm going to play around. They need Bauble into double blade. Okay, yep, you got it. Why not? Top 30 your deck. You got it. Must be nice. Good. Only card that matters, and they have 3 of them. You got it. Oh, also they had the other removal spells to go with it, so they can kill my tokens. You got it. Triple Tithing Blade. 60 cards. There are only 4 that have relevant text. You draw 3 of them. Can't beat it all the time. But to be fair, I think 90% of the time I just win. So can't be too upset. Let's get a white source. There's really just no rush to like get the thing in play and start doing the thing. There really is just absolutely no rush. Oh, this at least makes a token, so. Such as Arena? Nah, it's just magic. You gotta play to your outs. That's just the only out there is. Sometimes they just have it. I really do think that this is very good and has been very good. And I've never seen anyone play it. I'm kind of surprised. I think this is just so worth it. You're a turn slower, but you just have more problems that you're presenting. Just to me seems like it's always worth it. What does this do? Okay. I've been such a huge fan of this. Has there been a new land that's good, maybe? What does that do? Okay. You might as well swing? No? I would have probably swung there. I don't think it really matters, but... They have to block. They have to block with 2? They do. They do have to block with 2. Okay, I could have actually swung with these 2 tokens. Yeah, they just didn't do that. Alright, they died. They had to double block, so I could have actually got in there with the 1/1s. Again, it doesn't matter at all, but... Sweet. Yeah, let me look at the lands. There's been a few sets. Maybe there's something. I kind of doubt it, though. Okay. We're looking for here. Was Avatar in the last Pauper event? I think it was. Whatever. Just really. Okay, so we got these, which that ain't it. Oh, enter scry 1. No, that's not it. Yeah, we got another Terramorphic Expanse. Okay, so there's no new land. Maybe I do like the thriving ones more than the just deal 1 damage to my opponent's face ones. The ping land feels kind of just like randomly in there, but maybe a thriving land is better. Because I can choose blue if I like don't have it already. And otherwise it's effectively the same. I don't really think 1 damage matters. I guess I could split them even. I don't want the avatar versions. I think I have the other ones. It doesn't seem... Maybe even just the life gain, like gain 1 life land, is probably better than deal 1 damage. Because, like, when has 1 damage ever mattered? Like, ever? I just don't think it has. So, Blossoming Sands is probably just better. Yeah, there's a lot of... Man, there's a lot of Blossoming Sands. Goodness. Is there at least a Foundations one? There's all these versions, and there isn't one for Foundations. That's crazy. Okay, well. Maybe just 1 less one of these and add another hideout. Because again, it gains a life. Very rarely do I cycle this anyways. I did actually end up cycling it once already. But I don't think it did. It didn't save me. But it did draw a card. Like, that did matter. That did matter. We're still at 20 lands. There's actually more than I thought. I thought there were 16 lands in here. Oh, that's about it. Yep, I don't think anything else needs to be changed. All she wrote. Ah, I love Pauper so much. I love Pauper so much. Love it. It's looking like I'm gonna have to get white. Because you have to respect Tithing Blade so much, being a turn slower has actually just been perfectly fine. I really don't want to get white here, but... Okay, that made life a lot easier, and again, for the quadrillionth time, I must respect the only card that beats me. Okay, they don't have it. I have a second threat, so I can play this now and play a tap land. At the island. They don't have it. I just like how you can play everything without needing $400. I just really, really, really like that. I think that is a massive plus to this format here. You just don't need any money to play Magic. And I like the power level. I just enjoy the power level of it. I think games last a lot longer, too. It's not just like someone had Dark Ritual, and then you're just on to the next game instantly. I have never seen anyone try to tempt the One Ring in Pauper. I'm here for it. Alright. Out of control scaling hath commenced. But I wouldn't say the financial side is the main thing, but it does mean as a free-to-play player, I can do whatever I want. As opposed to playing Historic Brawl where I have to get a bunch of mythics all the time. I just like the decks. I just like the decks. I like everything about it. I think skill expression is higher too, because you don't just randomly have Dark Ritual and win without like having a game play out. Or you untapped on turn 1 with like Birds of Paradise, your opponent couldn't kill it, then you play Cultivate and the game's over. Like there's so many things going on in Pauper that I just love it. Not everyone's playing the same 5 decks. And hey, they banned Affinity, like they just got rid of it, so... There's a lot to like about Pauper, in my opinion, that is not found in other formats. I even like Artisan. I also really like Artisan, the commons and uncommons. That is super fun. I have an Artisan deck on paper, but I don't think anyone else I know in person has one, so I can't really play it. But I love Artisan. Commons and uncommons. It's a very fun format, in my opinion. Oh, they're just dead. Okay. I was gonna say I should leave this up, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Tempting the One Ring is like super cool. It sucks you don't have what is it? The 9 copies of the Wraith, because I think you actually do have those in Artisan. Yeah, they're uncommons, they're not rares. So Tempting the One Ring in Artisan sounds really cool with the Wraiths. I'll have to wait for an Artisan event though. If you look at the your wild cards too, like look at my wild cards. I have 630 uncommons. Like I can play so much Artisan if they ever make it a thing. 630. Over half a thousand. It's nuts. But there's just nothing really to do with them. Unless you play Artisan. It's actually harder to get commons than uncommons. That's been a thing forever too. I don't envision that changing. I don't think that's necessarily Wizard's fault, but it would be nice if you could downcraft 4 uncommons for like 1 common or something. But like you could break down a mythic for 2 rares. That'd be nice. I mean, it would never really make sense to do that, but just having the option would be nice, maybe. I like the dust system of Hearthstone. It just makes it so you can use your resources on any card instead of just, oh, a mythic can only make a mythic. But it's been this long, and they're obviously not going to change it, so. But I have had one single point where I didn't have enough common wild cards, and I was like, whoa, how was that a problem? That should never be a problem. Here it is being a problem. That's crazy. Alright, well, again, as per usual, playing around Tithing Blade. I don't believe there's much merit in blitzkrieging out my 1-drop. I can wait a turn. I can wait a turn here. I don't think I'm going to. But if they go Swamp Tithing Blade, I'm just obviously not looking too great. Yeah, they didn't do it. So, I don't know what red-green can do, but, you know, more power to you. Okay, apparently nothing. Suppose I should play Audacity instead? No, it don't matter. Again, we have inevitability. We can just chill, draw cards. Yep, like I said, unless they kill this, I don't really know what they can do, and I could probably just kill them at 3 power. I don't know what this does. I was thinking land destruction at first, but now I actually have no idea. It could be the squirrel deck, where you make a bunch of squirrels. Is that a common? Yeah, that's common, right? Galvanic relay nonsense. But they didn't do anything on turn 1 or 2. Or apparently 3. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Probably a combo deck. Probably squirrels. Which, maybe just lifelink is too much. Like, being at 20, what is this, 27 is just too much. It can't one-shot me anymore? Maybe. I don't know. Better players of that deck than myself. But I have played it a bunch. I play Commander on paper, mostly. Okay. Or... Please, game. Okay. Good sign. What does this do? 1 damage to each... Sure. Bask in my uh-oh Spaghetti-O card, opponent. What say you? Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. That makes me a happy person. Oh, they just sent it too. Okay, so yeah. Oh, this is just so gross. When your opponent doesn't have anything they can do, this is just like so depressing. I still think Turbo Fog might just be better than this though. The Ancestral Mask one-shot is no longer part of the equation. I really think Turbo Fog has like a serious argument to being the best deck. Madness Burn stuff does kind of kill you though, without creatures. Maybe that's still too good. So is there like Skewer the Critics or Revel and Mate, whatever that? What's the mechanic called that you have to deal damage to trigger it? They can have bounce spells here. They can have spells. They can't block that, so it doesn't matter. Still swing with it. Oh, they do trade, sure. I wonder why. Why do they trade? Okay, they trade it because the game's over. Opponent traded because the game was over. That's why they traded. Alright, good to know. Yeah, I need to convert all the like green-white hexproof players to playing the backup 2-1 or 0-1. I need to convert them. They need to see my truth. When in doubt, play around Smothering Tithe. Oh wait, excuse me, not Smothering Tithe. What am I talking about? Alright. Maybe it was a hexproof mirror and they didn't draw their creature. I don't know. I meant Tithing Blade, not Smothering Tithe. I have yet to see another person playing this. So I don't really know what's going on right now. Like, where are all the hexproof players? Maybe it's because it's day one, and day one just has everybody in it playing whatever. And then, like, the preceding days, it's all, like, the Sweat Lords and stick around and stuff. We can, yet again, play around Tithing Blade. Oh, I'm on the play. I guess I can just windmill slam it. I don't know, I'm, like, super comfortable just taking my time every game with this deck. I'm actually going to grab a white source here. Actually, if that was the case, I should have just played this, if I was going to do that. Yeah, alright. Mistake number one. I found a way to make a misplay turn one. Found a way. Giving her opponent the handicap. Which isn't a handicap until I draw the blue card anyways, but you know what I mean. Okay, they don't have Stern Scolding. That is a viable card. You can play Stern Scolding. Or, what is it? Force Spike? Or Daze. No, Daze wouldn't have worked. Oh, there's actually a lot of... Oh, hey! Oh! There it is. It's real. Okay, they didn't have it. Is this the poison deck, I wonder? Is this the poison deck? Do we think it's poison? Could be. They cannot conceivably block this, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm more on them being a poison deck than I am expecting Tithing Blade. So I'll leave them with the option of, like, trading, because I don't think Tithing Blade is... Like, trade Tithing Blade is how I lose. I don't know, someone would probably play around it, but this makes me think... Oh, but if it's poison, there's Vraska's whatever that makes you sack a creature and get a poison counter. Okay, I should have never swung with this. This deck actually does have a card that can take care of this. That was a mistake. I guess they just don't have it because they didn't block, but Maybe it's not even in their deck because they didn't even give themselves the opportunity to potentially draw it. Yeah, see? It is 100% in their deck then, and they just didn't trade. I guess they want to race? No, that doesn't make sense. Hey, I found it. I actually found it. Funny. And it doesn't matter, but... Alright. Again, they're not going to race me, so they needed to trade and find Vraska's spaghetti. I shouldn't have done that. That was kind of two misplays. I somehow, in this matchup with these few turns, arguably misplayed twice. Though, to be fair, the second time I just forgot that this deck has a 4 of Edict in it, because it makes a poison counter. I'm so fixated on, like, do they have Smothering Tithe? I just said it again, it's not Smothering Tithe. I keep saying that. Tithing Blade. Well, you're dead on board, even with Unsummon. We have the creature. We have the token capability. I think I like this. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just do that. They're both tapped anyways. One his name is Uwu. At home. Okay, this usually means that goofy combo deck. So that could be the goofy combo deck. Nope, it's just that. Alright. I like it. Oh, I like it. I keep mousing over my opponent's face, thinking I still have the deal when damage lands. Oh, it's legit dinosaurs. This isn't just like simply a creature, it's a dinosaur. Wait a minute. Or land. Alright, yeah. Those are legal cards, and I'm here for it. Let's just get the blue source. Let's just get the blue source. I don't think it matters. Looks mono green as well. They did the same thing 2 turns in a row, but I guess so did I. Okay, interesting. Actually kind of annoying, because I only have 1 toughness. Kinda toxic opponent. Kinda toxic. Let's play... Oh wait, I can circumvent this with both creatures, yeah. Oh, you know what? That was a mistake. I probably did not want to do that. I probably should just go tall. I don't know why I thought swinging with both of these was important. It really isn't. Because they have... Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I don't think it matters, but... It probably should be all on the same creature. Well, a 3/4 doesn't do it. I believe there's a plant version. It's a 4-mana 3/4. Instead of reach, it has protection from zombies. Some plant, like a Plants vs. Zombies nod card or something. That doesn't let this swing anymore. I have made a mistake. Alright. Yep. That was definitely not the right idea. I made this take longer than it should. But I'm pretty sure I'm still winning. I have really no idea what they could do to not lose. Okay, that makes that a bit simpler. Oh no, it doesn't. They have reach. Never mind. Okay, we found trample. Life is good. I can swing at the 1/1. Yeah, okay, it's just game. It doesn't really matter. But I certainly found a way to... I'm getting complacent. That's what I'm doing. I'm just casting cards and not thinking. Which is kind of what this deck does. Alright, I want to play... Yeah, alright. I'm going to play one more game of Turbo Fog because I can't control myself, and then I'm probably done. I just can't control myself. I have to do this. I have to do it. There's no not doing this. Blind Keep. Zombies? Ooh. Ooh, opponent after my heart. Or, excuse me, skeletons. Skeletons. I meant to say skeleton. I love this card. It's in my Pauper deck in real life. Who would have guessed? Certainly not me. I actually don't have a fog. Hopefully the red isn't a problem. Sacrifice a creature, menace. Another creature dies. Oh, well, you know, that's stuff. I think we just pass. I want to play so I don't ever have to go to discard, but going to discard is probably just fine. Discarding card draw, like, doesn't really impact me. Sack another creature, put a counter on this. Alright, they have an engine. They get a counter on these things and they can keep sacking this. So they're going to have a scaling problem eventually for me to address. Yeah. What's this 1 mana card? Burst Lightning? I don't know. I do not know. Oh, this costs 1 mana. Oh, I thought it was 2 to do it. I thought it was 2. Okay. That's what they were leaving up. Fair enough. I thought it was 2. Do I respect Bump in the Night? Probably not. Probably not. This is half my life total. So if I don't cast this now... No, we should wait a turn. It's just not lethal. But it is lethal next turn. It is lethal next turn. Opponent got a fairly fast clock on me, actually, all things considered. I wonder if I should cycle this. I already have a land, though. Probably not. I drew a viable target. Let's play the nothing game and get rid of... We can get rid of the first clear to mind, because I have another one in my deck. They do loop each other. But I am, unfortunately, doing this now. Actually, you know what? This isn't too unfortunate. This is about the right time. I felt like this was fast, but this is probably roughly the right turn cycle in which you start to do this to me, so... Because looking at the land count, this makes sense. When I cast my first fog, it just felt fast for some reason. Could just go to discard? No. Let's just do this. Maybe they'll concede. I can get rid of a land. They could speed this up a lot faster if they just didn't hold priority to do something that doesn't fundamentally matter. I'm going to get rid of Alluring Revealed. Well, hopefully there's no bump in the night. Just pass. Oh, wait. Yes, okay. Had to make sure I actually had something to do. Two damage. Alright, so there actually is damage in there, which I did not want to see. It's not bump in the night. It is actually like a strictly worse bump in the night. But they have put me into Spaghetti-O range. I need to find the white spell that gains 1 life, or gains life equal to my hand size. I have possibly 2 turns? Let's do Thoughtcast before Ponder. Oh my goodness, I found it. Oh, that's why it's in here. That is why it's in here. I also do have a huge hand, so... Very nice. Very nice. We can just cast... What's on the top? Cast nothing? I have to discard 2, huh? Get rid of a land and a relic. I love darkness. I love it. I'm not cycling these things here. They should flash back these burn spells instead of doing anything else, because if I attack your graveyard, you're going to wish you at least got 4 damage on. I can't attack your graveyard, but you don't know that. Oh no, there is no reason to end step this. You just do it whenever you want. You already have lethal in play, there's really no reason to do it at all. Yeah, you know, people like playing their cards, I shouldn't scold them. People like playing their magic cards, as they should. I should probably cast this in case they do have Bojuka Bog. I haven't seen a Mill 5 yet. It would be nice to have at least one. Yeah, we're gonna just send it. Okay. Ponder. I think I shuffle this. Yeah, alright, they're over it. It doesn't... Like, well, actually, what was that on top? How many cards is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I literally had 6 cards on top. I could have just kept them. I could have put them on the bottom. I probably just shuffle them. and not have to draw through all of them because it doesn't matter. But my deck could probably just be shuffled every turn and I could lose all the ponders and would just win, right? I'm just looking for the same thing over and over. But yeah, they did have something. If it was Bump in the Night, it would have been still too slow. Yeah, it would have still been too slow because I couldn't flash back them in time anyways. But you know what? I kind of like this more than Bump in the Night. Going on, like, targeting creatures is very significant. And I think for one less damage, that has to be worth it. Just attacking creatures with these seems very, very good as opposed to Bump in the Night. But those are probably just different kinds of decks. Still a cool card. I have not seen it played ever. So that's, well, it's a new card from the new set, which is also cool. I like that. All right, cool. I'm here for it. All right, I'll talk about these decks and then I'll move on till the next time in which I play Magic. I don't know. Let's talk about this one first. Actually, now that I'm staring at them, I have a fair amount I could say about all of them. I'll start with Boggles. Boggles. So yeah, new card. This is huge. It makes this deck more consistent, more in line with its like true non-historic Pauper counterpart, or I should say its literal historic counterpart of Pauper Boggles, you know, Bogle being a thing for 15 plus years. So that's really cool to see. I'm glad they added that. They took out Ancestral Mask, which, again, I don't really think changes that much other than your capacity to out of nowhere one-shot people. But you still have Ethereal Armor, and you're still asking roughly the same amount of decks the same question, which is, can you deal with my hexproof threat? Because most decks can't really go over the top of it and kill you. You can give it the ability to block and attack with Vigilance, and then you can give it superiority in all combat if it already didn't with First Strike, and then you can undo a lot of damage that like spell-based burn or madness or something can do to you. Red in general, I guess, with Lifelink. So it has all of the problems covered effectively. And I'm a huge fan of this strategy. I just like it. It does, like, Tithing Blade is a massive counterbalance, like a huge weight against this deck. But that's where I start talking about this card. I think every single deck that is this should play this. I don't think there's really any reason to not play this. I do believe you need 12 threats on average. Some people only do 8 and they just keep conceding until they find it. I think that's kind of lame, but whatever. I think this is just excellent. Having Flash has mattered a couple times, and it doesn't really mess up your mana base that bad to do it. It does slow you. It effectively slows your entire game plan down a turn. So yeah, I guess it does kind of mess up your mana base. But you probably, because Tithing Blade is so insanely prolific in so many decks, that you really do want to take a turn off anyways and wait until you have one of the cards that poops out a token like this or this. Actually, I think those are the only two. Yeah, those are the only two that poop out a token. Maybe there's another one to run because this is good. Or you could run the 3-mana hexproof Merfolk that comes with a 2/2. So like the token is the important part instead of the creature itself. It's like in reverse, but it's the same thing. So you could run one of those maybe, and then have like, you know, your 13th creature. But moreover, it just comes with a creature because Tithing Blade is so popular that it's good to have this. And then you're like, oh, they're on the play. They played a swamp. You do not then play Forest, Glade Cover, or Forest or Island Bogle. You just play a land and then pass because Tithing Blade just blows you out. Maybe a lot of people just concede automatically to it, but I would rather just have this in my deck. I think this is excellent. I really do. I think this is the third creature you should be playing. It does unlock blue, but I can't really find anything in blue that is worth casting other than this, and makes the single island in a bunch of ways to find it more painful if the island is even more important. So it would probably change in that way, but still, this has to be worth it. You're already playing slightly slower because of Tithing Blade, and that just means you can play a bunch of tap lands because you don't really need to do anything on turn 1. Any game that you would win having played this turn 1, you're probably going to win having played it turn 2, unless again it's the edict spam thing, which you might not have won anyways. So it kind of doesn't matter if you're a turn slower. It doesn't really let a lot of things outpace you regardless. If you're after a certain card all the time, you can run the Tutor and Aura creature, which I did have 2 in here last time. The 3-minute 1/2. I think it puts an Aura into your hand or on top of your deck. I don't know. But that one could just be like, oh, everyone's playing Burn. Let me just like blitz for this all the time. And you could play some of those, but Bogle just makes that early pressure, early setup thing obscenely consistent, right? Like this was what this deck was kind of missing, and now it is here. So there you go. It is way better than Ancestral Mask, in my opinion. You would rather, if you could only pick one, you would have probably chosen this instead of Ancestral Mask. Because again, a lot of the Ancestral Mask games you would win, you're probably still going to win those games, just slower. But those games are probably still auto wins regardless if you have it. It just makes the pivoting with that segue into this. It does make this matchup worse because you don't have Ancestral Mask to force the fogs like a turn earlier, let's say, quote unquote. So they can like build up more resources by the time they have to start casting this every single turn against the Hexproof deck. But it makes all your other matchups kind of the same, right? You don't need Ancestral Mask to beat most things. It is good in the mirror. I will admit that. If you have it and your opponent doesn't, congratulations. It is a mirror breaker, absolutely. So it's got that going for it. But I really think Turbo Fog is way up there now. Now that Affinity is completely removed, no Cranial Ram. Way less incentive to play Metallic Rebuke. So I think this is really, really good, which probably means people are going to start complaining about it because it doesn't feel good to lose against this because it takes forever. But people might just start recognizing that you concede faster than a lot of people decide to concede. And they can move on with their lives instead of spending 15 minutes losing. And if you play this deck, you've signed up to do this thing that you enjoy doing. So, if I spend 5 minutes of my time in a winning position, I will gladly do that. This is not just to make people lose faster. It also wins the mirror because you can hit their Clear the Mines. If there is no other way to win and it's just Turbo Fog, then eventually you will, given 500 turns, eventually you're going to mill to Clear the Mines, and then they can't loop their deck. You might miss a lot, but eventually you'll hit both. They cast one, and then the other is milled, and then the game is over once you finish. So this is another thing that does. This has just been good against all the non-creature-based damage that I've received. Bump in the Night, Chain Lightning spam, or whatever, Burst Lightning. This just shores that up. I don't think you need more than 2, but I did like 2. I liked 2. I didn't like 1, so I think 2 is good here. There is a blue-green Turbo Fog deck that plays the poison counter strategy, but there's only 1 card in the entire game, I think. I mean, I could look now, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's only 1. But it did beat me. I wouldn't say I lost because of this. I was playing I wasn't playing the mirror. But this, they played on turn 2, and it was the only card in their entire deck that puts a poison counter on you. And then they played a bunch of proliferate spam cards and won. It was like, well, if you don't play one, like, how do you win without these 4? That makes absolutely no sense. You can't feasibly do that. But after a certain chunk of time went by, they were playing Turbo Fog. I saw the fogs start to show up. They didn't have black. It was just blue-green. So you could do that as a mirror breaker in Turbo Fog, because eventually you will draw one of these, and eventually you'll win with it. So it's a way to win against the mirror, and I suppose it also closes the game out against everything else, just like milling 5. It is something to think about, and I will try it at some point. Just blue-green Turbo Fog with poison as the win condition instead of milling 5. It probably wins faster. It probably wins faster, especially if you have 4 of them instead of just 2. But it does make you worse in the intermediate because you just played like this and didn't do anything else. Which might be a problem. I don't know. They were playing Growth Spirals as well. A very cool deck. I liked it. Never seen anything like that. I was a fan of it. But yeah, I think Turbo Fog is a significant contender now that Affinity is gone. I think everything else has gone up because that has gone down. But this probably went up a little bit more than most things. And then this is what I ended up landing on with. This started as mono. This started as a very different deck, but mono black with like that 3/4 that siphons life on artifact ETBs and stuff. It didn't seem like it was very good, and playing it confirms at least my opinion that it was not very good. So I took it out, and then I needed a different way to actually win games. And these are really good. This probably is the right color combination for these. Like, this is just a tried and true strategy, core Skyfisher, and then like Tithing Blade and all that jazz. This is just good. I like this a lot more than what I started off as mono black. I don't think mono black artifacts is really that great. It was just a list I saw online. Someone was recommending it, and I tried it. I just didn't like it. You should at least splash blue in your mono black artifact deck for Thoughtcast. It's pretty free to do that. You can easily add some like blue sources and a single blue card. Like this is, I did the band hexproof, same thing, right? So that's perfectly reasonable. And then I just added white because once I was blue black, the next person I saw was playing an Esper version and just had more to do. And my one win condition was just totally annihilated over and over by stuff like looping Tithing Blades and being drowned in cards. And even Virus Beetle seemed pretty nice. I don't know about this. I really don't know. It's cool. It's kind of adorable, I guess. There is a Madness deck. It is real. You can make your opponent trigger Madness, and they might be happy that you did that. In fact, the one time I did, the one time it worked for them. The one time I Virus Beetled a Madness deck, they had something to do. It didn't matter. I was dead anyways, but if that deck sees more and more play, which usually the days 2 and 3 of a midweek thing, the people who stick around are more meta oriented instead of just cards you own for 3 wins decks. So this might just get worse. I'm not a big fan of this, but it was cool. It's satisfying to pick this up and make them discard over and over. I like it more than Volt Scourge, I guess, to be fair. And then the mana base is so straightforward, it hurts my eyes. Hurts my eyes, it's so beautiful. But yeah, so I think Turbo Fog is it's like Amulet Titan in Modern, where it's in my opinion probably the best deck in Modern, just saying. I think Amulet of Vigor might be the best card in Modern, just saying. But people don't really play or pilot Amulet Titan. You can't just like grab it and play it in 2 seconds. There's maybe more to it. And Boros Energy is the most played deck, just like this format. Aggro is the most popular thing because it is by far the easiest thing to play and has a pretty good win rate. So just play it. But I think this is kind of the Amulet Titan of the format, it feels, where you might have to get some reps in to have an idea of what you're doing and mostly what you're playing around. Like I had a bump in the night read on a player and that mattered, right? Maybe someone who doesn't think like that just only casts fog when it's lethal. But if I did do that, I would have actually lost because I was assuming there was some kind of reach that would have killed me at 3, and there was. So I started fogging earlier and it won. So like stuff like that is not really something you think about when you play Mono Red Bird. You just cast the chain lightnings until somebody explodes. So I think there's stuff to learn in that deck. I mean, I'm a huge fan of it. I just like those kinds of things, though. I mean, I'm pretty, I'm pretty toxic. Just saying, just like my toxic decks. Abusing cards, abusing Root Snare, as Mark Rosewater intended. All right, well, that's that. So I'll definitely play more decks tomorrow in this format. I think I will. I don't know. Don't hold me to that, but let me know what you thought about these. If you have new deck ideas from the new sets, let me know. I haven't quite seen anything from a new set since the last time we've had this. So like the just the new sets, Strixhaven and stuff. If there's something in those piles of cards that I haven't thought about yet, that someone else has, I'd like to know, because I haven't really seen any new cards and I haven't found any that I like, but I'm sure they're out there. So all right, let me know what you thought about them. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. See you. What others call toxic, you call interacting. Yep.